I don't like making content. In fact, I'm willing to bet most people don't. Sometime in the last 6-7 years, we started to replace terms like videos or cartoons or music or art with the word content, because just about everything we see online today was made for the sole purpose of being consumed by others, and it's all started to kind of blend together. A content creator is a whole lot like a fry cook at Content McDonald's. They're cooking up the same old content burger for the content customer. And there's a right way to do it if you want a content customer. Do it as it's been outlined. And if you put your own spin on it, you're not only risking the satisfaction of the customer, but the image of the brand. There's no room for you at Content McDonald's. Only your ability to make content burger. YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, what have you, are all open marketplaces for all kinds of different food, but you can always rely on a satisfactory content McDonald's on every corner. It's gonna be hard to break from the food metaphor here, but bear with me. I don't like being a fry cook. I don't like to make content burger. Nobody wants to be a fry cook.
I want to be a fry cook.
But we've become so accustomed to the weirdly satisfying yet bland taste of content that it's become harder for people to take a leap and try something new. The guy who's never had anything other than cheese pizza and macaroni his whole life isn't gonna think he's gonna like sushi. Oh, but he probably would. Sushi is like the food that makes you realize there's more to experience in life than cheese pizza and macaroni. We live in an age where the content formula has been so refined, tried and true, that you'd almost be crazy not to grab the cooking instructions before getting started. Open with a question, save the answer for the end, CTA, retention, no shots longer than 2 seconds. It's all right there for you, and there's countless video cookbooks on the same old recipe. Don't ever buy a course on how to become famous, cause the strategy's gonna be the same whether you pay for it or not. It's all the same stuff. Worse yet, emerging now are algorithms that know the cookbooks front and back. Our bland yet reliable content can now be produced by AI. And let me rant a tiny bit about AI here. I think I'm probably gonna have to dedicate an entire video to this topic in the future because there is just way too much to say. But for now, I'm just gonna get a couple thoughts out there. First, I'd like to beat the allegations that I'm afraid of the advancement of technology or whatever. I understand very well how AI works. I've been following the tech quite closely since long before it ever became mainstream or popular, and since long before it could produce anything of value. This was back when generative adversarial networks were the hot new thing in niche communities. And I have spoken to plenty of people who staunchly advocate for AI, and it's very clear to me that they do not understand the tech. But they hear about how amazing it is, and they end up with the mindset that it's some sort of computer magic and it's super smart, yada yada. I will say, AI has its place. It is capable of very complex pattern recognition, and this has wondrous implications in research fields like medicine or science. It can catch cancer earlier than people can on average. It can help us understand complex biological functions and help us create more effective vaccines and so much more. Here is the issue, and something that makes me want to explode violently. AI is not known best for its strengths at all. In fact, it's known best for some of its greatest weaknesses. And because of this, it's highlighted and exploited the fact that we are all stupid. AI, while the main business-to-business marketing revolves around automating monotonous tasks, is marketed to the masses as a, and think about this for a moment, friend, a family member, a coach, a therapist, an artist, not exaggerating here, a brain, your brain.
And do you use ChatGPT when raising your baby?
I do. I mean, I feel kind of bad about it.
And if you don't understand why this is an issue, and many people don't, let me paint it out for you. AI, again, is great at recognizing patterns. In fact, that is all it does. And here's how it works, put as simply as I can. An engineer defines a problem and curates a dataset, labeling where the problem exists and where it is solved, if applicable. The computer is fed this dataset, and it analyzes it. It draws connections between the pattern and the solution. It thoroughly studies it until it's able to identify the problem on its own without labeling. This is how it's able to catch cancer early, predict how proteins will fold, and yes, generate and identify images and understand speech. The enormous issue with the ways AI is being marketed to the average Joe is that it hinges entirely on its ability to replicate human-sounding speech or text, not its ability to understand the brain. Most text-based AI agents just use the ChatGPT API, meaning it's just running the text through ChatGPT with a hidden prompt attached, telling it to do whatever it's meant to do. If you do some manipulating, you can actually get most bots to admit this themselves. If you're paying for services like that, you are definitely getting scammed, and in more ways than one. But yeah, AI doesn't know why we say the things we do. It just knows how to sound like someone who knows. It's recognized the patterns in the speech, but not the problems or how they get solved. That is why it so easily hallucinates, why it lies, and why it can't be an honest friend or therapist, and it can't replace your dead grandmother in any way beyond mimicking the way she talked. There is no understanding of emotion, only what emotions look and sound like on paper. So, why are we stupid? Because we eat it up! We don't fact check it, we don't think about it, and we treat it like it's magic and like it's always right. The more we rely on and interact with AI chatbots and assistants, the less we will understand the things that make us human. And that is precisely what makes AI art so freaky. People love it. Those who outspokenly defend AI art, music, videos, or rather, content, or slop, are practically admitting to having no understanding or connection to real art. They think that imitation meat is not only the real thing, but better. With the divisive nature of the internet and politics today, people will even dilute themselves with ideas like that because it aligns with what their party believes or what the opposing party is against. It's yet another instance of people giving up their individuality, but a total tangent for another day. Getting back on track, there's a good chance you've watched some AI written, spoken, or altogether generated videos unknowingly. There's hundreds, going on thousands of AI-aided channels masquerading as people with real thoughts, hearts, and souls, all competing for your clicks, attention, and ad revenue. These channels are trained on the hard work of real creators, and they usually emulate the style as closely as possible with merely cosmetic changes on the surface to differentiate them. And sometimes AI isn't involved, but it's still slop either way. It's clear to me as a content creator why this happens, and it can be illustrated best with my own experience. I animate on YouTube. And in this economy, regrettably, animation is one of, if not the most time-consuming avenue of creativity. I came into the picture around when short-form content was nearing the end of its initial blow-up era. And on one hand, I got lucky. I started sharing my flip notes with the world and was quickly rewarded with millions upon millions of views, and I had amassed nearly 1 million subscribers on YouTube in my first year. Is that a flex? No! In fact, it's a nightmare. In that first year, I posted short animations nearly daily, until by the end I was ready to slow down and explore some new ideas. What does it feel like to stop posting daily after a year of flourishing growth? It was immediately clear that if I wanted things to continue working, I had to continue pumping. I talked about that a lot in my video, YouTube Messed Me Up, so give that a watch if you want to learn all about the horrors of making short-form content. I had no time to explore new things. I went full-time thinking I was secure. Something they don't tell you is that short-form subscribers are not the same as long-form subscribers. Short-form viewers have an appetite for the short-form content burger, and they're not trying sushi anytime soon. They put crack in the short-form content burger. But don't get it twisted though, because long-form content is the same, just in slow motion. If you want to get by, you best follow that recipe, and you best be shoveling it out as fast as you can. I was stuck in a cycle of frantically producing to keep up and pay my rent, and inevitably I fell behind. These days, and I'm just gonna lay it bare, apologies if you were hoping I was a total YouTube baller with $1 billion, I can't afford half of rent. Sponsors don't like me because I'm inconsistent with my branding. Whatever, man. If I go a week without uploading a short, I lose hundreds of subscribers. And this is still my full-time job because I love to create and I love to share with you. But yeah, I'll be real. I don't know how long I'm gonna be able to sustain myself this way. I made a video about eye contact and why it's difficult for me. And yeah, maybe it's not a very exciting concept, but it was a video I took a lot of care with. Ultimately, it was a vehicle to deliver a message about understanding other people and treating everyone with empathy and compassion. It was important to me because apparently empathy is controversial, and I see a stark lack of it in our politics and society today. But anywho, I spent 2 months working on it, day until night, hundreds of hours animating it, better than anything I'd ever done before. I was very proud of it. Packed it with gags, composed the music, and truly poured my heart into every beat of the product. To this day, 6 months after release, I've not even made a week's worth of minimum wage on the thing. My heart cannot sustain me in this climate. My point is, as a creator, you are incentivized to create viral content on a regular basis. And that's a really, really difficult thing to do, especially as an animator. It's no wonder that people hire, allegedly, ex-Mr. Beast editors and employ ChatGPT to produce scripts for mindless slop drama content, because if you want to be truly successful, that's what you have to do. And because of that, videos with heart and soul that took hours, days, months to produce are much, much further and farther between. And in the meantime, people fill up on their content burger and lose a little bit more appetite for sushi, and lose a little bit more of their soul. You ever doom scroll for a few hours and you feel like a hollow corpse afterwards? I would love to see a change, and I think 2026 is a great year to make that happen. People are fed up with AI, with enshittification, with slop. I know I am. Watching videos didn't always make me feel like a corpse, and making them certainly didn't either. There have always been creators who put their dignity first and make real thought-provoking, informative, entertaining, funny, personal, or objective videos where their heart or mind leads the way, and I don't see that changing anytime soon. However, I would love to see the slop meta die. And the only way I see that changing is if viewers make a conscious effort not to scroll or watch videos as a way to waste time. Technology and media are gunning for our brains, and there's serious repercussions to having so many heads full of AI slop and Mr. Beastified videos. Whether it be a horrible addiction to dopamine, where everything arriving instantly and seamlessly causes basic functions like thinking to become a challenge that prevents people from amounting to more. Or politically, where the rich and powerful have a plentiful swath of malleable clay heads to manipulate, sell to, or convince you that anyone but themselves are the root cause of our biggest problems. Maybe think a little about what you're watching. Will you remember it tomorrow? How about next week? Are you learning anything? If the audience shifts, the creators will follow. Look at how Spider-Verse changed animated movies. The creators pushed the medium and led with their hearts. They tried something completely new, and hey, turns out audiences really love some good sushi. And companies saw the results and felt the pressure, so they started whipping up some of their own sushi. So many new flavors, too. Creators, slip some new spices into that content burger. Maybe you wrap it in rice, stick a dollop of spicy mayo on there, too. I hear your heart is a real good chef. Good sushi! Content burger. Tasty curry. Content burger. Rich lasagna. Content burger. Now for the new creators out there, I do think there's some good basics to learn in the tried and true Content Burger cookbook. You know, we all eat them for a reason, but your focus should be on what speaks to you. What are you interested in? What do you want to offer? How can you put you on the menu? Yeah. If we make a climate centered around what makes us unique, what we're passionate about, and about challenging the status quo, we'll all be better off for it. We'll have richer perspectives, more critical brains, and most importantly, a taste for some actual, real videos, cartoons, music, and art with something real to say, or something unique to show. Coco Melon conducts focus tests on children to ensure they are as captivated as scientifically possible, with no regard to what they're actually learning. Children struggle to function without an iPad in their hands, blasting YouTube Kids, even at restaurants or family functions. Netflix intentionally tells writers to dumb down shows and movies so that viewers can put them on in the background while scrolling their phones. People, young and old, have a hard time grasping the thought of having to turn their phones off in a movie theater. What? People put on YouTube videos or Twitch streams to watch on one screen while playing video games on the other. Brain rot is now scientifically confirmed, where time spent scrolling TikTok was linked to a measurable decrease in the cognitive ability to focus or practice self-control. And older people are just as affected as younger people. You're not off the hook, old man. Skibbity toilet! We are incredibly overstimulated. And if you made it this far into the video without breaking your attention to check something, scroll, or without playing a different video or stream on the side, you are in a vast, vast minority. And that's not to say you should be ashamed. I have the same nasty attention span. Most of us do. I just think it's important to be aware of it and to notice when it happens. If you do notice yourself taking in more than one dopamine source at once, maybe take a step back and just acknowledge it for a moment. Am I eating content burger? This video is maybe a particularly unstimulating brain dump. And it was originally just supposed to be a quick little vent and an announcement that I want to totally shift my focus towards passion projects like The Champa Show, music videos, more brain dumps, or animated skits, even though the variety is kind of like algorithm and sponsorship poison. Am I digging my own grave? I hope not. my hope is that by the time I've blown through all my savings, I'd have enough of an audience to help keep me sustained moving forwards. And so this video is sponsored by you. Thank you, channel members. And for the rest of you, I hope you're up for some sushi. I love you. Take care.